Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Before we start our session, I would like to inform you of the discussions we just had with the Bureau. The Secretariat has informed me that there is currently no host for the 16th session of the committee next year. The 16th session may be held in Paris at UNESCO headquarters in December, unless a state party comes forward. The dates are currently being studied, which must take into account the possible dates for the 41st session of the General Conference. In the meantime, I've asked Bureau members to consult the committee members in each region in order to find the candidates for the positions of chairpersons, rapporteur, and vice chairpersons. As for our work today, I am pleased to inform you that we're only 2 files behind schedule. We're catching up quite well. I think you will agree with me that the working methodology that we used yesterday greatly helped to facilitate our debate. Therefore, I will continue to ask states to show their support as co-sponsors by raising their hand, and the Secretariat will read out the names of co-sponsors for the summary records. Please rest assured, colleagues, that this approach is merely to facilitate the process to recognize co-sponsors. In other words, it does not limit committee members from taking the floor to raise other issues. That is why once the list of speakers is read out, I would like to ask all co-sponsors to kindly remember to lower their hands. Dear colleagues, now that we're ready, I suggest we begin the session without delay with the nomination file 8B21 submitted by China. Mr. Busaidi, the floor is yours to present to us the form from China. Thank you.
Thank you and good evening, everybody. The next file is Taijiquan submitted by China. Taijiquan is a traditional physical practice characterized by a relaxed circular movement that works in concert with breath regulation and the cultivation of righteous and natural mind. The element builds upon the yin and yang cycle and the cultural understanding of the unity of heaven and humanity. It has been disseminated through legends, proverbs, and rituals, among other vehicles of expressions. After initiating dialogue process, the evaluation body considered that the nomination meets all 5 criteria, and in particular appreciated a wide range of relevant past current safeguarding measures through a 5-year plan for the safeguarding of Taijiquan, 2021 to 2025. This includes upkeeping venues to academic activities, training and recruiting apprentices and barriers, promoting through websites, and collaboration with seniors, women, and students. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends the inscription of this element on the representative list. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for this detailed explanation of the different issues raised during the evaluation of this file. The Bureau did not receive any requests for debate or amendments for this file. May I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision on this file as shown on the screen as a whole. I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B21 adopted. Congratulations, China. I understand that we have a video from China to be shown. Please go ahead.
谢谢主席，我谨代表中华人民共和国文化和旅游部，对委员会全体成员、审查机构和秘书处为太极拳列入人类非物质文化遗产代表作名录所付出的辛勤工作和积极支持表示衷心感谢。 太极拳是基于阴阳循环、天人合一的中国传统哲学思想和养生观念，以中正圆活为运动特征的传统体育实践，为相关社区和群体提供认同感，增强社会凝聚力。作为大众自发的绿色安全的日常实践之一，太极拳不受性别、年龄、职业、场地等限制，人人可学可练。太极拳列入代表作名录，有助于提高非物质文化遗产的可见度，提升对非物质文化遗产重要性的认识，促进对话，体现世界文化多样性。人类社会正在经历100年来最严重的传染病大流行，新冠肺炎疫情使各国人民的生命安全和身体健康遭受巨大威胁。太极拳顺应当代可持续发展的基本要求，能够促进习练者的身心健康，达到修身养性、强身健体的目的，是对人类福祉有益的健康实践，也体现出传统知识与实践对促进人类生命健康的贡献。中国将认真履行保护承诺，努力确保该遗产项目的存续力，让更多的社区、群体和个人从这一宝贵的传统知识和实践中受益。谢谢。
Thank you. Thank you, China. I will now give the floor to the representative of the evaluation body so that the findings of the body on the next nomination can be presented to the committee. Mr. Busaidi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is on Wanchuan Wankang ceremony, rituals and related practices for maintaining the sustainable connection between man and the ocean, submitted by China and Malaysia. The Ongjan ceremony and related practices are rooted in folk customs of worshipping Ongya, a deity believed to protect people and their lands from disasters. Performance had the procession and clear a path for Angya Park, wooden or paper-made models. These performances include Gugaja and Gizi opera, different dances comprising dragons and lion dances, and puppet shows, among many others. After initiating a dialogue process, the evaluation body considered that the nomination meets all 5 criteria. The element has been constantly practiced and recreated, coming to constitute a vivid reflection of the interactive and harmonious coexistence between Chinese and Malaysian culture. In both state parties, the communities, groups, and individuals concerned have made unremitting efforts to ensure the viability of the element. Interaction and joint efforts at community level to ensure the viability of the element have been effective since 2015. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends the inscription of this element on the representative list. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you for the details on this file. The Bureau did not receive any request for debate or amendments for this file. I therefore ask the committee to adopt the draft decision on this file as shown on the screens as a whole. I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B22 adopted. Congratulations, submitting states. You may now take the floor for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On behalf of the Government of Malaysia and the Government of the People's Republic of China, I would like to convey our gratitude and to thank all member states who have supported us, the evaluation body and the Secretariat of the 2003 Convention for the Safeguarding of the Intangible Cultural Heritage for their excellent work. Ladies and gentlemen, Wanchuan Wankang ceremony is widely spread along the coastal areas both in Minnan, China and Malacca, Malaysia. In Minnan, it mostly takes place every 3 or 4 years when the northeast monsoon arrives in autumn, or 4 years when northeast while in Malacca it is preferentially held in the dry season of the lunar leap year, both starting on an auspicious day meticulously selected and lasting for days or months. Recognized as a shared heritage by communities concerned in China and Malaysia. The element embodies the sustainable connection between man and the ocean. It has long played a crucial role in maintaining community ties and enhancing social cohesion. It bears witness to the intercultural dialogue among communities along the maritime Silk Road and reflects the cultural creativity conforming to sustainable development. Ladies and gentlemen, the inscribed element has become a symbol of friendship between the Chinese and Malaysian people. The joint nomination is a concrete cooperative action by China and Malaysia for the implementation of the convention, which highlights the common concerns and responsibilities of the two peoples and their cross-border safeguarding efforts. This inscription will inspire countries along the maritime Silk Road to join hands and carry out substantive cooperation to safeguard cultural heritage and increase the visibility of ICH. We realize that this is just the beginning of the journey where greater responsibilities are awaiting us to fulfill our safeguarding commitments, strengthen joint actions and cooperation. Once again, we would like to thank all who have made this happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Minister. We have just heard from Her Excellency Dato Sri Nancy Sukri, Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture of Malaysia. Thank you and congratulations again.
Thank you.
I will now give the floor to the representative of the evaluation body so that the findings of the body on the next nomination on the representative list can be presented to the committee. Mr. Busaidi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is Festivity of Saint Trifon and the Kolo Chin Dance of Saint Trifon, tradition of Croats from the Bay of Kotor who live in the Republic of Croatia, submitted by Croatia. Croats originating from the Montenegro's Bay of Kotor have formed tightly knit communities in the Croatian town of Rijeka, Zagreb, Pola, Dubrovnik, and Split since the 19th century. Today, this minority group is known as Boka Croats, and its traditions are centered on two main events: the Fest Day of Saint Trifon, held annually on 3rd February, and Boka Nights, held throughout February and March. The evaluation body considered that criteria R5 is met, but that the information provided is not sufficient to determine whether criteria R1, R2, R3, and R4 are satisfied. In particular, the file does not provide sufficient explanation of the nature and the culture and social function of the element in the Republic of Croatia in the present day. The file does not demonstrate how the inscription of the element would contribute to ensuring the visibility of intangible cultural heritage in general. Furthermore, the nomination files does not sufficiently demonstrate how the communities, groups, or individuals concerned were involved in planning and implementing the safeguarding measures. The information provided in the file is insufficient to comprehend the mechanism and methodology of the work with the communities and how they participated throughout the nomination process. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends that the nomination be referred to the submitting state. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for the detailed explanation on the different issues raised during the evaluation of this file. The Bureau did not receive any requests for debate or amendments, and I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision on this file as shown on the screens as a whole. I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B.23 adopted. Croatia, you are now recognized for 2 minutes. Thank you.
Madam President, allow me to congratulate you and Jamaica for your excellent chairmanship and organization of this first online committee in this challenging time. We are very sorry not to be able to feel the vibes in the reggae chill moment on Jamaica with all dear friends, but we look forward to a brighter future. Croatia strongly supports UNESCO work in the field of normative instruments in culture and once again stipulates the importance for the Convention 2003 place in the promotion of safeguarding of the living heritage. Therefore, we would like to thank all the committee members, UNESCO Secretariat and relation bodies. We will continue with the dialogue and work on the nomination of the festivity of St. Tryphon and the color chain dance of St. Tryphon, tradition of cross from the Bay of Qatar that is crucial importance for our committees and ICH in general. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Croatia. I will now give the floor to Mr. Busaidi, so the committee can be told of the findings on the next nomination. Mr. Busaidi?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is handmade production of Christmas tree decorations from glass beds, submitted by Czechia. Handmade production of Christmas tree decorations from blown glass beds refer to handmade Christmas tree decoration that are produced by blowing a heated glass tube inserted in a brass mold shaped into a string of beds called colostochita and silver, colored and hand decorated. The creation of Christmas ornaments such as these appears in folk tales about Carconas, the legendary ruler of the mountains. After initiating the dialogue process, the evaluation body considered that the nomination meets all 5 criteria. The element fosters self-identification, positive intergenerational relationships, as well as the individual creativity of its barriers and the wider community. The inscription would strengthen interest in glassmaking, which is a very varied area of manufacturing with rich diversity of materials, as well as in the know-how of the craft and the use of the artifacts produced. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends the inscription of this element on the representative list. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Busaidi. The Bureau did not receive any request for debate or amendments on this file. I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision as shown on the screens as a whole. I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B25 adopted. Congratulations, Czechia. You may now take the floor for 2 minutes. I think there may be a video to be shown. Go ahead, Tim.
Madam Chair, I understand we do have a video, but I also understand that the delegate from Czechia would like to take the floor since the hand is risen. So perhaps you could give first to the delegate of Czechia, then we'll play the video.
Okay, Czechia, please take the floor. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. My name is Barbara Kulhava, and I'm here to represent the community of the people who are making Christmas ornaments from blown glass beads. Almost all of them learned their skills in their families. All of them are going to pass on their knowledge to the further generations. During the nomination process, we learned a lot. New aspects and ideas will surely help us to raise even better awareness of our craft. In this December time, a lot of people all along the world are decorating their Christmas trees. Christmas ornaments from blown glass beads are a part of the private family lives and are connected with the hearts of the people. Thank you for your acknowledgement. We are happy and honored.
Thank you. And now, can the video be played? Thank you. Thank you, Czechia. Applause, applause, applause. Evaluation body, could you please represent or present to us the next file? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is Custom of Korean Custom in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, submitted by Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The element refers to the dress and customary practice related to the traditional Korean custom in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Made from natural fibers such as wool and silk, the costume is divided into upper and lower parts. The upper part is a jacket for both men and women called joguri, while the lower part consists of trousers for men, baji, and a skirt for women, chima. The evaluation body considered that criteria R5 is met, but that the nomination does satisfy creation R3 state efforts do not focus sufficiently on the safeguarding of the social function and cultural meaning of the custom, and do not reflect the living and dynamic character of the element, nor does they illustrate the role of the communities in whole safeguarding process. In addition, information provided is not sufficient to determine whether criteria R1, R2, and R4 are satisfied. The nomination does not include any information about know-how related to traditional crafts, without which the creation of custom is not possible. Moreover, there is a lack of information on community participation, including the methodologies adapted to this end. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends not to inscribe this element on the representative list. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. For this nomination, an amendment has been tabled by China, co-sponsored by the Republic of Korea, Sri Lanka, Kazakhstan, and Kuwait. Would China like to take the floor at this point?
My question is that how we would proceed with the draft decision. Do we have to present our amendment when we go through each of the paragraph of the draft decision, or we will just present our right now? My question is how we would proceed with the draft decisions.
Thank you, China. We will show your amendment as we go, when we get to paragraph by paragraph.
Thank you, Madam
Thank
Chair.
이사 질문 제기하지 않았나? 이사 질문 제기하지 않았나?
Kindly mute your microphone. I believe the floor was with China, Madam Chair.
Okay, China recognized?
Yes, Madam Chair, we would prefer to go through the draft decision paragraph by paragraph. And then when we go through the amendment, then we will just make the preemptive intervention.
Yes, China, that's fine. So if committee members are agreeable, I would like us to apply the same methodology as yesterday. We would adopt the decision paragraph by paragraph. When reaching the amendment submitted by China, committee members wishing to support the amendment would be invited to raise their hands. Can we proceed this way? Any committee member wishing to take the floor at this stage?
We see no hands, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Kay. Very well. Can the Secretariat display the decision on the screen, please? Can we consider paragraph 1 adopted? Adopted. Let us continue with the adoption of paragraph 2 as a whole and as initially proposed. Any objection? Adopted. We now come to paragraph 3 and new paragraph 4 with the amendment proposed by China on criterion R4. Paragraph 3 has been introduced with the standard wording used in several decisions yesterday. I would suggest that we examine both paragraphs together, as the amendment on R4 would simultaneously affect both paragraphs. When I ask committee members who are in support of the amendment on R4 to raise their hand. China, you may take the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This nomination file is the only one that the evaluation body recommended not to inscribe on the representative list, which have drawn a special attention to our delegation. According to our understanding, the cultural practices related to the traditional costumes can play an important role in maintaining the cultural identity and social cohesion. While from the nomination file, section 3, we've noted that the past and current efforts and the proposed safeguarding measures constitute a comprehensive framework that reflects the commitment of the submitting states. The communities concerned, families, and professional associations at different levels for the safeguarding of the elements. The proposed measures not only aim to maintain the traditional mode of intergenerational transmission, but also facilitate more balanced gender relations and wider participation. In this case, we would appreciate if the submitting state could provide further information on how the communities will be involved in the implementation of the proposed safeguarding measures. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, China. May I ask committee members who are in support of the amendment on R4 to raise their hand?
Madam Chair?
Go ahead, Mr. Curtis.
Madam Chair, I understand that the delegate of China had addressed a question to the submitting state. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Perhaps the submitting state could be given the chance to answer the question.
I will now give the floor to the Republic of Korea.
Okay. Madam Chairperson, distinguished representatives, first of all, I would like to express my congratulations to Madam Chairperson and also my belief that this session will have good success by your leadership and efforts of member states. Regarding the question raised by China, I would like to reply as follows. In my country, Korean Costume Association and its affiliated bodies, as well as numerous cooperatives, families, households, individuals are actively participating to the safeguarding and developing of custom of Korean costume. Korean costume was developed in a variety of ways and transmitted from generation to generation for thousands of years. Now it became a part of daily life custom of our people. In the nomination process, it took the methodology of receiving voluntary opinions submitted by the people at nationwide, including Korean costume makers and the practitioners of the custom of Korean costume. During the nomination process from August 2014 to June 2017, more than 187,000 of co-signed and individually signed consent letters were submitted through email or by documents, and it is too huge to count the telephone consent made by people. I would like to reiterate that the custom of Korean costume is a valuable, intangible cultural heritage developed and practiced by local communities and local people by themselves.
Thank you, Korea. May I again ask committee members who are in support of the amendment on R4 to raise their hand? Could I ask the Secretariat to read out the list of members that support the amendment?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I understand we have some co-sponsors on screen. And beyond the co-sponsors on screen, I also see that Azerbaijan has raised its hand. I see Côte d'Ivoire. I see Brazil. Cameroon in the chat. If Cameroon could please raise their hand. We are unclear about Cameroon. Perhaps Cameroon could, if they cannot raise their hand, could you confirm verbally whether you co-sponsor or not? Madam Chair, we would like to know, we don't understand the communication from Cameroon. At this stage, we do not see a raised hand. Perhaps you could give the floor to committee member Cameroon.
Cameroon, you may take the floor. Thank you.
No, there's no raised hand.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
yes, we can hear you.
Yeah,
Please
Cameroon
go ahead.
is in support of the amendment proposed by China. Hello? Okay.
And Djibouti.
Mr. Curtis?
Madam Chair, I understand that we have
all
now
hands have,
Yes, I understand all hands have now been counted. Thank
all
you.
hands, okay. So I see that the amendment proposed benefits from relative active support. So can we therefore adopt the paragraph as amended? Adopted. Let us continue with the adoption of paragraph 2 as a whole and as initially proposed. Any objection? This means that we have dealt with R1, R2, and R4. Let us now move to the next paragraph with an amendment from China on criterion R3. May I ask committee members who are in support of the amendment on R3 to raise their hand? And could the Secretariat read out the list of members that support the amendment?
Madam Chair, I see Kazakhstan, but I note that Kazakhstan is already included, so we have the supporting states in the draft amendment: China, Republic of Korea, Sri Lanka, Kazakhstan, and Kuwait. Azerbaijan, Djibouti, Côte d'Ivoire, Brazil,
Mr. Curtis, are we?
Yes, I believe now that's the list.
Yes. So I see that the amendment proposed benefits from relative active support. So can we therefore adopt the paragraph as amended? Adopted. Given with what we have adopted up to now, it seems to me that the next paragraph does not work. Mr. Curtis, I would like you to give the floor now to guide us. I'd like to give you the floor now to guide us in this regard.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You will see the original paragraph decided not to inscribe, based on the fact that the previous criteria that was just discussed, criteria R3, was proposed to be a not to inscribe. However, given that criteria has now just been amended to refer, it follows logically and automatically that paragraph 6 should be to refer rather than not to inscribe. And therefore, this paragraph needs to be changed to refer, decides to refer. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis.
As we put the standard clause that we put on refers, which is to invite the state to revise the nomination and resubmit in a future cycle.
Besides, too, they need
Madam Chair, I see also China has asked for the floor.
I think you need the word to, decides to refer.
Correct, to, decides to. We will fix all grammatical errors like that later.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis. I wish to recognize China. You may take the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My delegation appreciates all the support from those member of the committees as the co-sponsors for our amendments. We would, given the situation that the amendment have been adopted just now, we would like to invite all the committee members to take a consideration to the final decision in a more encouraging and inclusive approach within the framework of the gentleman agreement. So having said that, my delegation supports this new paragraph proposed by the Secretariat as amended just now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Could we now adopt this paragraph as shown on the screen? Can we do so? Adopted. We now come to the last two paragraphs of this decision. I believe there is no proposed amendment. Could we adopt them? Adopted. We can now adopt the entire decision as a whole. Any objection? Declare decision 15.com 8B26 adopted as seen on the screens. Democratic Republic of Korea, the floor is yours for 2 minutes. Thank you.
Madam Chairperson, distinguished representatives, the committee decided to refer the dossier submitted by the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, and through this debate, you can clearly consider that the custom of Korean costume is a precious one to be inscribed on the representative list of intangible cultural heritage of the humanity. I would like to express my sincere thanks to all member states of the committee who kindly supported our dossier. I would also like to take this opportunity to reiterate our position to continue our efforts of safeguarding the intangible cultural heritage and cultural diversity of the planet, and so that to contribute to the proper implementation of the 2003 Convention. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I will now give the floor to the evaluation body so that the next nomination can be presented to the committee. Mr. Busaidi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is Sauna Culture in Finland, submitted by Finland. Sauna culture in Finland is an integral part of the lives of the majority of the Finnish people. Sauna culture, which can take place in homes or public places, involves much more than simply washing oneself. In a sauna, people cleanse their bodies and minds and embrace a sense of inner peace. The evaluation body considered that the nomination meets all 5 criteria, and in particular appreciated that the inscription would draw attention to a practice of living heritage that benefits from the inclusion of findings from vernacular and formal medicine. The nomination file provides an ample reflection on the impact of sauna culture on sustainable development and mentions continued efforts to lower its impact on the environment. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends the inscription of this element on the representative list. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. The Bureau did not receive any request for debate or amendment on this file. I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision as shown on the screens as a whole. I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B27 adopted. Congratulations, Finland. You may now take the floor for 2 minutes. I understand there's also a video to be shown. Thank you.
Madam Chair, Minister, members of the committee, colleagues, On behalf of the government of Finland, I would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to the committee and to the evaluation body for this decision. In Finland, the sauna is an institution that cuts through the whole of society. It has been an integral part of the Finnish cultural heritage and of the Finnish way of life for thousands of years. The initiative to propose the addition of sauna culture to UNESCO's list of Intangible Cultural Heritage was taken together with a large number of Finnish sauna societies and other organizations promoting sauna culture in Finland. We are pleased that this joint effort was rewarded by a successful outcome. We believe this inscription will foster the continuity of sauna culture and highlight its significance in Finland as part of our traditions, our well-being, and our democracy. Again, thank you very much for this decision, which I plan to celebrate by taking a sauna bath at the sauna of our embassy here in Paris. Thank you.
Enjoy. Now have the video, please.
Saunassa on lämmin ja siellä on vähän hämärää. Sitten sinne voi rauhoittua. Ensin peseydytään, mennään sinne lauteille, heitetään löylyä. Näin välissä aina viluuttelemaan. Välillä viihdytään. Tullaan saunasta pois ja peseydytään.
Kaikki suomalaiset edustavat saunomiskulttuuria. Jokaisella on oma tapansa, oma perinne. Voidaan sanoa, että jokainen on saunomisen asiantuntija.
Suomalaisethan saunoo aina, voisiko näin sanoa, kesäisin saatetaan käydä vaikka joka iltakin, talvisin sitten ehkä vähän harvemmin, mutta se semmoinen yleisin saunapäivä on lauantai. Tämmöiset vuotuiskierrossa tärkeimmät juhlapyhät, joulu ja juhannus erityisesti on semmoisia, mihin valmistaudutaan sitten saunomalla.
Kannattaa saunoa. Mä ehdotan ainakin saunomista monelle. Siinä yhdistyy rentoutuminen ja voi unohtaa kaikki asiat, kaikki päivän asiat. Voit elää sitä hetkeä, mitä elät sillä hetkellä.
Congratulations, Finland. I think we all would love to. I will now give the floor to the evaluation body so that the findings on the next nomination can be presented. Mr. Busaidi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is Musical Art of Horn Players, an instrumental technique linked to singing, breath control, vibrato, resonance of place, and conviviality, submitted by France, Belgium, Luxembourg, and Italy. The element brings together the techniques and the skill used to play the horn. The pitch, accuracy, and quality of the notes produced are influenced by the musician's breath, and the instrumental technique is based on the player's body control. The evaluation body considered that the nomination meets all 5 criteria. The inscription of the element would make citizens aware of the wide-scale fragility of intangible cultural heritage due to changes in legislation, the effects of fashion and developments in society. The nomination process relied on the participation of most of relevant federation and association from the state parties concerned, through lengthy process involving many activities and opportunities for community participation. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends the inscription of the element on the representative list. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. The Bureau did not receive any request for debate or amendments on this file. May I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision on this file as shown on the screens as a whole? I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B 28 adopted. Congratulations to the submitting states. May I now ask the states to take 2 minutes. I also understand that there's a video, so will we have a presentation of the video in addition to comments? Tim, is that what we will have?
I understand we go straight to the video. Oh, no?
Yeah, there's
Sorry, no, my apologies. France has asked for the floor. Thank you.
France, you may take the floor. Thank you.
Merci. Donc, au nom de la Belgique, de l'Italie et du Luxembourg, la France remercie le comité intergouvernemental pour sa décision d'inscrire sur la liste représentative du patrimoine immatériel de l'humanité l'art musical des sonneurs de trompe. Donc, nous nous félicitons du travail continu de coordination et d'écriture initié par la Fédération internationale des trompes de France auprès de dizaines de groupes français, belges, de plusieurs groupes italiens et luxembourgeois, avec le consentement du public amateur de l'instrument qui vient en nombre assister aux prestations dans les espaces publics, lors d'événements festifs et aux concerts des sonneurs. Nous encourageons cette communauté transnationale qui va maintenant témoigner et sonner sa reconnaissance à travers une courte vidéo de remerciement, en mettre en œuvre les mesures de sauvegarde envisagées dans la convivialité qui la caractérise.
Am Namen von den Hauptspeisen von Lützeburg so ich dem Komitee von der UNESCO ein ganz großes Merci für die Darschreibung von der Kunst des von sich durch zu bloßen.
Au nom des sonneurs de la Fédération Wallonie-Bruxelles, je remercie l'UNESCO d'avoir reconnu l'art musical des sonneurs.
I nostri più sentiti ringraziamenti all'UNESCO nel rispetto delle culture e del dialogo tra comunità assimilabili.
Beste UNESCO, bedankt voor de erkenning van de muziekkunst en het jacht horen blazen, Frans horen.
Au nom de la Fédération internationale des trompes et de toute la communauté des sonneurs, je tiens à remercier l'UNESCO d'avoir reconnu l'art musical des sonneurs de trompe.
Thank you. Congratulations again. Evaluation body, could you please present us the next file?
Sure, thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is Pantun, submitted by Indonesia and Malaysia. Pantun is a form of Malay verse used to express, interact ideas and emotions. It is the most widespread oral form of maritime Southeast Asia and has been used in many parts of the region for at least 500 years. Pantun has a clear A-B rhythm scheme. Pantun has also been used as a diplomatic form of conflict resolution as it offers a way of gently evoke important issues. Harmony with nature and flexibility in human relationships are also loaded ideals. Pantun is formally taught in school, artistic workshops, and through informal means. After initiating a dialogue process on criteria R3 and R5, the evaluation body considered the criteria R1, R2, R4, and R5 met, but that the information provided is not sufficient to determine whether criteria R3 is satisfied. In particular, the proposed measures are aimed primarily at promoting the element and do not sufficiently address the problem of the transmission of knowledge. Moreover, there is insufficient information on the safeguarding measures aimed at mitigating the threats to the element identified in the nomination file. Furthermore, the file does not demonstrate how the relevant communities, groups, and individuals participated in the preparation of the past, current, and future safeguarding measures. This is one of the 11 cases of dialogue process carried out this year. The decision is therefore structured as follows. Paragraph 2 indicates that the evaluation body considered that criteria R1, R2, and R4 were met based on the nomination file alone. Paragraph 3 states that the body considered criteria R5 satisfied after the dialogue process was carried out. Paragraph 4 notes that the nomination included in the file and the information provided by the submitting states through the dialogue process were not sufficient to ascertain that R3 was satisfied. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends that this nomination to be referred to the submitting state. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. For this nomination, amendments have been tabled by China with support from Sri Lanka, Kazakhstan, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait. Would China like to take the floor at this time?
Thank you, Madam Chair. My delegation would like to congratulate the submitting states for nominating this valuable expression of oral tradition, Bantam. According to the draft decision regarding to R3, it is stated that the proposed measures are aimed at promoting. We do have our own observations. We believe that promotion is one of the very important part of safeguarding process. In specific cases, the promotion of the element is very essential to ensuring its viability and visibility. And through promotional efforts, the awareness of the communities concerned, that of the general public toward the importance of ICH will be raised. And we also noted in the nomination file, there are relevant programs and activities to ensure the wider participation of the concerned communities. However, we would like to invite the submitting state of Malaysia to provide us further clarifications on how the states would propose to mitigate the threats that are identified in the nomination file, if they would like to make some clarifications. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, China. I will now give the floor to the submitting state to reply.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am Rosari, Secretary General of the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture. Allow me to explain a bit about the issues raised. Regarding to the insufficient information on the safeguarding measures aimed at mitigating the threats to the elements identified in the nomination file. It has been clearly been stated in the nomination file under 3B1 proposed safeguarding plan for both states parties, Malaysia and Indonesia, as follows. 1. The pantun activities will always be recorded by the community into the inventory from time to time to ensure the continuity of activities related to pantun. Number 2, promotion of documentation and research that will cover research and recording all pantun. The third point here is safeguarding under legal instrument which aims to protect pantun through legal instruments so as to have concrete safeguarding efforts. And the fourth is that promoting community involvement in safeguarding measures, including the provision of allocation grants, as well as the giving of rewards and holding international dialogues and promotions. Madam Chair, in addition, I would like to state here that, as stated in the nomination file, Malaysia has enacted the National Heritage Act 2005 since year 2006. The Act is the most prominent act in Malaysia in protecting heritage as well as intangible cultural heritage, including pantun. Pantun also had been declared as a national heritage in 2009. Similarly, in Indonesia, pantun has already and will continuously protected under the Ministerial Regulation Permen number 106, year 2013. That's our defense on these issues raised, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Malaysia. If there is no objection, let us continue with the same methodology. When reaching the amendments submitted by China, the committee members wishing to support the amendment will be invited to raise their hand. Could we proceed this way? Any committee member wishing to take the floor at this stage? Very well. Can the Secretariat display the decision on the screen? Thank you. Can we consider paragraph 1 adopted? Paragraph 1 adopted. Let us continue with the adoption of paragraph 2 as a whole and as initially proposed. Is there any objection? I see no objection. Adopted. Could we adopt paragraph 3 as a whole and as initially proposed? I see no objection. Adopted. Paragraph 4 includes the first amendment submitted by China on criterion 3. It is introduced once again with the standard wording used in several decisions so far. May I ask committee members who are in support of the amendment on R3 to raise their hand? And I would ask the Secretariat to read out the list of members that support the amendment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will read you the list of hands I see as of now. Japan, Jamaica, Azerbaijan, Botswana, Peru, Republic of Korea, Djibouti, Cameroon, Côte d'Ivoire, Morocco, Brazil, Saudi Arabia, let me read, Madam Chair, allow me to read once more. Japan, Jamaica, Azerbaijan, Botswana, Peru, Republic of Korea, Djibouti, Cameroon, Côte d'Ivoire, Brazil, Saudi Arabia.
Benefits from broad active support. Can we therefore adopt the paragraph as amended? Adopted. We now come to paragraph 5 with an amendment from China. May I consider that all committee members who supported the first amendment from China would also support this one? Could we now adopt as shown on the screen? I see no objection. Adopted. The last 3 paragraphs have no amendment. For the sake of time, may I propose that we adopt them all at once? Any objection? I see no objection. Adopted. We can now adopt the entire decision as a whole. I see no objection. I therefore declare...
Madam Chair, I'm afraid we have the request for a floor from Czechia.
Czechia, please go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I apologize just for the paragraph number 6. It reads, reminds the state parties of the importance of ensuring the most active possible participation of communities, blah, blah, related to the preparation of the nomination file. We suggest to replace this wording by the implementation of the safeguarding measures, because this paragraph related to the referred file. So it's just a minor modification. Paragraph number 6.
Madam Chair, may I take the floor to assist?
Please go ahead, Mr. Curtis.
Okay, I will ask my colleagues to go down to paragraph 6, please. just to make sure we understand. In every aspect related to the implementation of the safeguarding measures, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we delete preparation of the nomination file. Please delete. And we replace with implementation of the safeguarding measures. Perhaps if Czechia could confirm that's okay?
Yes, it's okay.
As on screen. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis. I wish to recognize Netherlands. They've indicated they wish to take the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We would just like to support this amendment.
I understand that Jamaica wishes to take the floor as well. Go ahead, Jamaica.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jamaica also wishes to support this amendment. And in the para 5, along with Sri Lanka, Kazakhstan, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, we'd like to add our support to that as well.
Thank you, Jamaica. Can we adopt paragraph 6 with this amendment? I see no other comments or objections. I understand Botswana wishes to take the floor. Go ahead, Botswana.
Well, we just wanted to be listed as those supporting even paragraph 6.
Thank you, Botswana. I recognize Morocco. Please go ahead and take the floor.
Oui, merci Madame la Présidente. Nous aussi, nous appuyons le paragraphe 5. Parce que j'ai compris que tous les pays qui ont été cités avant ont été repris dans le paragraphe 5. Alors que comme ce n'est pas le cas, donc j'aimerais bien ajouter le Maroc comme un pays qui a pris le paragraphe 5. Merci.
Thank you, Morocco. Poland, you may take the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Poland wishes also to support the amendment proposed by the distinguished delegates from Czechia.
Thank you.
Kuwait.
Please go ahead, Kuwait.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to save the time, Madam Chair, I think we know the question would be, does anyone object this addition? If none, I think we can move forward for this file and the other nomination. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Kuwait. Can we adopt paragraph 6 with the amendment? Paragraph 6 adopted. We now come to paragraph. We will take paragraph 7. Adopted. Paragraph 7. We can now adopt the entire decision as a whole. No objection? I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B30 adopted as shown on the screen. I understand the Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture of Malaysia, Her Excellency Data Sri Nancy Shukri, wishes to take the floor at this time. Madam Minister, you have 2 minutes for your presentation. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Madam.
Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of the Government of Malaysia, I would like to convey our utmost gratitude and thanks to all member states and the Secretariat for the honor. We are certainly grateful for the strong networking and cooperation among member states who have been working tirelessly in safeguarding our shared heritage all over the world. This inscription is an uplifting moment for Malaysia and Indonesia, whereby our joint nomination has been acknowledged as a treasure worth preserving. Pantun is a Malay poem used as a medium of expressing the art of thinking, which depicts one's intellectual power. Pantun is also regarded as a spirit which brings together the various races in Malaysia. Pantun is highly imbued with moral messages relayed to its listeners in fine and polite styles in verse form. The foreshadower is a description of nature and life lived and the wisdom gained therein, which acts as a shadow of the meaning that is to come in the next part of the verse. Traditionally, the foreshadower employs surrounding elements of flora, fauna, or nature. These elements provide hints of human emotions, thoughts, and characters. From these fine verses, we are able to catch a glimpse of the nature and temperament of the Malay people, which are known for their courtesy, kindness, openness, and harmonious living. Ladies and gentlemen, the great responsibility for us to preserve, nurture, and pass on the diverse forms of intangible cultural heritage to future generations is indeed an arduous journey, and we have still a long way to go. The inscribed element is a symbol of friendship between Malaysia and Indonesia, and with it, we hope to inspire stronger ties of friendship between our nations. Finally, I wish to say, terima kasih. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Minister. Indonesia, you may take the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for giving us the floor. Madam Chair, members of the committee, members of the evaluation body, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to congratulate Jamaica and Secretariat for convening this meeting despite of the current pandemic that still occurs. On behalf of the government of Indonesia, I would like to convey my sincere appreciation to evaluation body for the reports and dialogue process in submitting this nomination, and to the members of the committee for their support and the decision to inscribe Pantun on representative list of the Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity. I also would like to thank Malaysia for their cooperation during the process in submitting these nominations. Pantun is Indonesia's first joint nomination with other country. This inscription is important for Indonesia and Malaysia, since Pantun reflects closeness between the two countries who share common Malay identity, culture, and traditions. Today, Pantun is also used in various performances, which help fostering creative economy, especially in Indonesia. For Malay communities, Pantun has an important social role as an instrument of social communication and moral guidance. For verses is laden with social content. Pantun also emphasizes balance, harmony, and flexibility in human interaction and relationship. Through this inscription, Indonesia and Malaysia reaffirm that commitment to continue our collective effort in ensuring the safeguarding Pantun as intangible cultural heritage, including through active participation of the local communities in both countries. I thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I will now give the floor to Mr. Bosaidi to present the next nomination. Mr. Bosaidi?
Sorry for that, thank you. The next file is Pilgrim to the St. Thaddeus Afzal Monastery, submitted by Islamic Republic of Iran and Armenia. The annual three-day pilgrims to St. Thaddeus Afzal Monastery in northwestern Iran is held each July. The pilgrim venerates two prominent saints, St. Thaddeus, one of the first Afzal preaching Christianity, and St. Santok, the first female Christian martyr. The bearers of the elements are the Armenian population in Iran. Iranian Armenian residing in Armenia and followers of the Armenian Apostolic Church, pilgrim gathers in Tabriz before departing for the monastery. The evaluation body considered that the nomination meets all 5 criteria. The file demonstrates that the pledgarium enhanced solidarity, tolerance, respect for cultural diversity and dialogue, fostering cohesion and participation among different communities and ethnic groups, both in the territory concerned and abroad. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends the inscription of this element on the representative list. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Busaidi. The Bureau did not receive any request for debate or amendment for this file. I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision as shown on the screen as a whole. I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B31 adopted. Congratulations, submitting states. Now I understand that the Deputy Minister of Culture of Iran, Mr. Talibian, will take the floor, followed by the Armenian ambassador. We can at the same time enjoy a video. Deputy Minister, please go ahead.
Madam Chair, Dr. Curtis, dear colleagues, the Islamic Republic of Iran expresses its gratitude to the committee members, evaluating body, and the Secretariat of the 2003 Convention for their decision taken regarding the adoption of the joint nomination of the Pilgrim of Tadeus between Iran and the Republic of Armenia. This auspicious occasion not only helps promote intercultural dialogue between the two nations, but promotes interreligious dialogues of peace as well. I would like to express my deepest appreciations to my colleagues in Iran and our Armenia colleagues who participated in preparation of this nomination file. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Deputy Minister. Ambassador, you may now take the floor.
Merci. Oui, merci Madame la Présidente. Tout d'abord, permettez-moi d'adresser mes remerciements à l'organe d'évaluation, au secrétariat pour son travail, ainsi qu'au comité pour sa décision. Les remerciements vont également à tous ceux qui ont contribué à l'élaboration de ce dossier. La République d'Arménie se félicite d'avoir porté ce dossier multinational de candidature en étroite coopération avec la République islamique d'Iran, sans laquelle cet élément n'aurait pu connaître cette célébration. Venant après l'inscription du monastère Saint-Thaddée sur la liste du patrimoine mondial de l'UNESCO, cette nouvelle initiative témoigne une fois encore de l'esprit de tolérance et de l'attachement à la diversité culturelle qui inspire la démarche de la République islamique d'Iran. Elle constitue également un exemple éloquent de coexistence entre l'islam et la chrétienté. Cette inscription nous fait chaud au cœur. Elle rend en effet un bel hommage aux communautés concernées, ces pèlerins arméniens venant d'Iran, d'Arménie ou d'ailleurs, qui durant des siècles, forts de leur identité arménienne et de leur foi chrétienne, ont perpétué dans le temps cette célébration avec ses rites et religieux et ses traditions comme un événement socio-culturel incontournable et indissociable de l'événement local, façonnant ainsi la mémoire culturelle de ce pèlerinage. Nous nous réjouissons enfin que cette inscription vienne nourrir les relations d'amitié et de coopération qui unissent l'Arménie et la République islamique d'Iran et conforter l'entente harmonieuse entre nos deux nations. Je vous remercie pour votre attention.
Thank you, and congratulations again. I will now ask Mr. Busaidi to present findings on the next nomination.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is Crafting and Playing the Oud, submitted by the Islamic Republic of Iran and the Syrian Arab Republic. The oud is a pear-shaped strengthened musical instrument with a history dating back over 1,500 years. To produce the instrument's melodic and harmonic tones, a player stops frets with the fingers, of one hand and plucks the strings with the other. Knowledge of how to craft and play the instrument is passed down through master-apprentice relationship, through families and informal training. The evaluation body considers that criteria R2, R3, and R5 is met, but that the information provided is not sufficient to determine whether criteria R1 and R4 are satisfied. In particular, the file lacks information on the knowledge and techniques associated with the making and interpretation of the oud as a shared practice of intangible cultural heritage in both states parties concerned. Moreover, the file does not sufficiently demonstrate how the communities concerned participated in the preparation of the nomination. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends that this nomination be referred to the submitting states. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. The Bureau did not receive any requests for debate or amendment on this file. May I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision as shown on the screen as a whole? Any objection? No objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B 3.2 adopted. Submitting states, you're now recognized for 2 minutes.
Okay. Zadi. Madam Chair, Dr. Curtis, dear colleagues, the Islamic Republic of Iran and Syria hope to present one of the most cherished example of the intangible cultural heritage in the region and the world. We would follow the evaluating body's valuable recommendations on the nomination file and resubmit it for the coming cycles. We would like to thank the Secretariat and the evaluating body in this regard. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Syria. Thank you.
Syria.
Mr. Busaidi?
No, Madam Chair, if I may I take the floor?
Yes.
Madam
Please,
Chair,
go ahead.
I understand that was Iran that spoke and that we have a request from the floor from the Ambassador of Syria.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, Syria, you may now take the floor.
Merci Madame la Présidente. Merci Madame la Présidente pour vos efforts, pour la gestion de nos travaux dans ces circonstances très difficiles qui ont eu un effet dévastateur sur la logistique de la gestion de ce dossier. Je pense qu'un certain nombre de pays étaient prêts à présenter un amendement et qui ont eu un soutien actif immédiat, ainsi qu'un certain nombre d'États qui étaient prêts à poser des questions. Je crois que la procédure n'a pas été clémente vis-à-vis de ce dossier. Nous avons les deux États soumissionnaires présentés, donc une réponse très étayée à l'organe d'évaluation que nous remercions, qui ont été, cette défense étayée, cet argumentaire a été adressé au comité et aux membres, honorables membres du comité. Nous regrettons que cette candidature qui bénéficie d'un dossier extrêmement bien fourni sur le plan technique n'ait pas pu avoir l'approbation de l'organe d'évaluation. Nous avons conscience que nos communautés conjointes en Syrie, en la République arabe syrienne, en la République islamique d'Iran, sont dans l'attente donc des clarifications ultérieures. Nous allons fournir ce qui est nécessaire pour appuyer ce dossier dans les meilleures conditions et pour une présentation ultérieure. Nous vous remercions et vous disons à très bientôt.
Thank you, Syria, and I also wish to thank the Deputy Minister of Iran. Thank you for your comments earlier. I will now give the floor to Mr. Busaidi to make presentation on the next nomination to the committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is Ceremony of Maharajan submitted by the Islamic Republic of Iran and Tajikistan. The Ceremony of Maharajan is an annual festival that marks the Ottoman equinox and expresses the community's gratitude for an abundant harvest. It is celebrated by Iranian Zoroastrians, a religious ethnic group, and by the people of Tajikistan. The ceremony of the Maharajan is named after Mahar, the Zoroastrian god of friendship, peace, and solidarity. The Zoroastrian faith reaches back to antiquity, and the festival is a major part of the group's identity. The ceremony functions to integrate people socially. People of all ages, gender, and backgrounds come together. The ceremony promotes mutual respect among communities and peaceful relationships. The evaluation body considers that the criteria are not satisfied. In particular, the nomination file fails to provide a clear and comprehensive description of the ceremony of Maharajan and of interactivity and intervenence of different aspects of the ceremony. Moreover, the nomination does not sufficiently demonstrate that the inscription of the element will contribute to ensuring the visibility and awareness of the significance of intangible cultural heritage. Furthermore, the nomination does not specify how these bodies were involved in the planning process or how they will partake in the implementation of the measures. The documentation submitted by both states is insufficient to attest to the widest possible community participation in the nomination process. Additionally, the nomination files does not specify the names of the elements, and there is no information provided on how the element was identified and defined. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends that this nomination be referred to the submitting states. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Busaidi. The Bureau did not receive any requests for debate or amendment for this file. I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision on this file as shown on the screen as a whole. I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B33 adopted. Submitting states are now recognized and invited to make comments for 2 minutes. I understand that Deputy Minister of Iran, you're back and you will speak. I think so.
Okay. Yes. Dear Madam Chair.
Please go ahead.
Dear Madam Chair. Yes. Dear Madam Chair, we believe justice has not been done to this procedure and have already submitted a complete defense statement prepared by both Iran and Tajikistan, answering all questions. I hope the Islamic Republic of Iran and Tajikistan to present one of the most known examples of the intangible cultural heritage, which has been practiced from the ancient times onward in their region to the world. We certainly take the evaluating bodies' value advice on the nomination file and resubmit it for the coming cycles. We would like to thank the Secretariat and the evaluating body in this regard. Thanks again.
Thank you, Deputy Minister. I will now give the floor to the evaluation body so that the findings on the next nomination can be presented. Mr. Busaidi.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is The Art of Glass Beds, submitted by Italy and France. The art of glass beds is closely linked to the wealth of knowledge and mastery of material glass and element fire. The art covers specific knowledge and shared skills, reflects the use of specific traditional tools and process, and includes various stages. The evaluation body considered that the nomination meets all 5 criteria. The viability of the element is ensured by the communities, groups, and individuals concerned through its practice, as well as through informal courses for individual barriers. The inscription of the element would help consolidate intensively and expand already established dedicated workshops to other craft and know-how. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends the inscription of this element on the representative list. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Members, the Bureau did not receive any requests for debate or amendment on this file. May I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision as shown on the screen as a whole? I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B 3.4 adopted. Congratulations. I now invite the submitting states to take the floor for 2 minutes, and I understand that there's a video to be shown.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Thank you to you and to Jamaica for chairing this committee. Au nom de l'Italie et de la France, je souhaite exprimer toute notre satisfaction pour l'inscription de l'art de la perle de verre et remercier les membres du comité et de l'organe d'évaluation. La candidature en tant qu'initiative multinationale est le résultat d'une coopération fructueuse, d'un dialogue constant entre nos deux pays et a vu la participation active de deux communautés françaises et italiennes dans un parcours entre créativité, savoir-faire et artisanat. Cette session du comité et cette inscription sont un message positif qui doit nous encourager dans cette période particulière que nous vivons et qui a touché des secteurs vitaux de nos sociétés. Écoutons ensemble les témoignages des communautés dans les vidéos qui suivent. Merci, Madame la Présidente.
Thank you, Italy. I will now give the floor to Mr. Bosaidi to present.
La communauté vénitienne du Perlier remercie l'organisme.
Oh, I'm sorry, the video is coming up. I'm sorry. We're moving real fast here.
En tant que patrimoine immatériel de l'UNESCO. Le processus a vu la participation active et constante de toute la communauté, encourageant son implication dans chaque phase de patrimonialisation et de sauvegarde. La Convention est l'occasion de prendre conscience de l'importance du patrimoine culturel immatériel et stimule les dialogues entre les communautés et le respect de la diversité culturelle. L'art de la perle de verre est un savoir artisanal particulier qui, dans le processus de création, lie étroitement matière, main, cœur et sensibilité. Nous espérons que l'art de la perle de verre inspirera également d'autres communautés à entreprendre cette voie en renforçant de plus en plus la visibilité et la particularité du patrimoine culturel à sauvegarder pour l'humanité.
La communauté française des perliers tient à remercier l'UNESCO pour la reconnaissance de l'art des perles de verre en tant que patrimoine culturel immatériel de l'UNESCO. Nous nous associons pleinement à la déclaration de l'Italie et soulignons également l'importance de la reconnaissance du patrimoine culturel immatériel pour la sauvegarde et la transmission des savoir-faire. Les communautés elles-mêmes jouent un rôle primordial dans ce processus qui leur permet de montrer leur maîtrise technique au plus grand nombre et se faire reconnaître par un public intéressé. Ainsi, nos deux communautés vous disent merci, grazie.
Merci.
Grazie.
Grazie.
Merci.
Grazie. Merci.
Thank you. Thank you. I will now give the floor one more time to Mr. Bosaidi to make his presentation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is traditional skills, techniques, and knowledge for the conservation and transmission of wooden architecture in Japan, submitted by Japan. The conservation and transmission of wooden architecture in Japan consists in a set of traditional skills, techniques, and knowledge. Roughly 7% of the country, 70% of the country is forested. Therefore, wood has been used in-house since ancient times. The evaluation body considered that the nomination meets all 5 criteria and wishes to commend the state party for proposing an element that highlights the international relationship between ICH and built heritage. This well-prepared file is a good example of how the inscription of an element can contribute to ensuring the visibility and awareness of the significance of intangible cultural heritage in general. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends the inscription of this element on the representative list. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. The Bureau did not receive any requests for debate or amendment for this file. May I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision on this file as shown on the screen as a whole? I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B 35 adopted. Congratulations, Japan. You may now take the floor for 2 minutes. Thank you. Japan, you're recognized. Please take the floor. Mr. Curtis, is there a technical?
Madam Chairperson, I believe there's some technical issue. There was supposed to be a video, and I'm not sure we have it. And with the indulgence of Japan, we could play it later.
Can I come in now?
Madam Chair, I would.
Go ahead, Japan. Please take the floor.
No, I just I forgot to remute my sound. So let me do it again. Madam Chairperson, distinguished members of the committee, it is a great honor for me to express my sincerest gratitude for the inscription of our files. This inscription will allow our craftsmen to be proud of their skills, techniques, and knowledge. As you will see in the video after my intervention, the skills and techniques of the craftsmen are essential for the preservation of our cultural heritages. Among those heritages, we have the oldest surviving wooden structure in the world and decorative masterpieces of the 17th century. Those heritages cannot be maintained without the skills and techniques of those craftsmen. This clearly shows an inseparable link between tangible and intangible cultural heritages. On the basis of this inscription, Japan will continue making contributions to safeguard tangible and intangible heritages, both in Japan as well as in other countries. I thank you very much, and let me show you our video.
Madam Chair?
Go ahead.
I would like to apologize. It seems we have a technical problem with the video from Japan, and if Japan could understand, we will play it once we have we'll play it a little bit later. We will come back to show the video, if that's okay, and we do apologize for the technicality.
Oh, Mr. Kasek, thank you very much. That's fine with us. Thank you.
Sorry, once again. We will come back to that video. I assure you we will show it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador, for your presentation. The evaluation body members will now present the next file.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is Traditional Intelligence and Strategy Game, Togi Zaku Malak, Togos, Korgol, Mangala / Gokurm, submitted by Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Turkey. Traditional Intelligence and Strategy Game, Togi Zaku Malak, Togos, Korgol, Mangala, Gokuram is a traditional game which can be played on a special board on impressive ones, such as bets on the ground. The game can be played with pelts made of stone, wood, metals, and bone, nuts, or seeds, which are distributed across the pits. The player who gathers the most pillars wins the game. The evaluation body considers that criteria R1, R2, and R5 are met. R4, are met, but that the information provided is not sufficient to determine whether criteria R3 and R5 are satisfied. In particular, the file does not sufficiently demonstrate the involvement of the communities concerned in the formulation of the safeguarding measures. The file also does not propose any safeguarding measures to deal with the possible unintended result of the inscription of the element. In addition, it is not sufficiently clear how the communities concerned were involved in the inventorying process. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends that the nomination be referred to the submitting state. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. For this nomination, amendments have been tabled by Azerbaijan. Would Azerbaijan like to take the floor at this time? Azerbaijan? Mr. Curtis, I think there may be some.
Okay, we are trying to we are trying to locate Azerbaijan, who would like to present their amendment. They are connected, I believe. Delegation of Azerbaijan, I believe your mic is muted.
Oui, Madame la Présidente, oui, nous avons fait un amendement, donc nous voulons ouvrir un débat sur ce dossier. Merci.
Go ahead.
Madam Chair, I understand they do not wish to make comments apart from, perhaps during the debate as China did, they may wish to ask questions. Poland is asking for the floor. No, Madam Chair, Poland is asking for the floor.
Thank you. Distinguished delegates, the delegation of Poland wish to underline that the game Togus Korgol is perceived as a part of historical and cultural identity of communities in all nominating states. It is an expression of cultural continuity which promotes knowledge and positive values of strategic thinking and sport competition, which are especially important for young people. Practice of the game is inclusive and allows for international and intergenerational meetings. We are convinced that the element would contribute to raising awareness about the role of intangible cultural heritage in the development of human creativity. Taking into account that the FAL is an example of successful international cooperation, we wish to appreciate the common effort undertaken to identify the element and elaborate safeguarding measures by all participating states. Bearing in mind that traditional games are underrepresented examples of intangible cultural heritage, as well as taking a note of positive values carried by practice of the element, which increase awareness of intangible cultural heritage among youth, we would like to ask submitting states what joint safeguarding measures are proposed and how the communities concerned were involved in the formulation of the safeguarding measures. Thank you.
Thank you, Poland. Will the submitting state respond? Do you wish to respond?
I believe Kyrgyzstan is taking the floor.
Thank you very much, Madam President, for giving us the floor. My name is Aybek Samakov, and I was born and raised on the shores of a beautiful Issapkot Lake. And I've learned to play this game even before I went to school, so did my friends in the neighborhood. And here I'm talking on behalf of people who play this game, who learn this game, and that's why my voice can be heard as the voice of local communities. I'd like to thank the evaluation body for raising the question about the involvement of the local communities in the nomination process and in the inventorying process. And I also thank Poland for raising this question and giving us the floor. And before I go into this two-part question, I'd like to start with the second part. That is about how the local communities have been involved in the nomination process and in the inventorying process. With a great pride and conviction, I'd like to say that local communities have been the mastermind behind both the inventorying process as well as the nomination process. We have been involved in the nomination process from the very beginning, and it was actually the local communities in Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and Turkey that reached out to the governments and secured their support to promote this nomination. As for the specific safeguarding measures, we've described all of them in detail in the nomination file, but unfortunately I'm running out of time to go into detail. But if the committee permits, I can carry on, or I would like to refer the committee members to go to the respective section of the nomination file. At the end, at the conclusion of my word, I'd like to assure you that local communities have been the driving force behind this nomination, and we would be more than happy if this nomination has been approved and inscribed this year. Thank you very much.
I recognize Azerbaijan that had spoken before. We would like you to repeat what you had said earlier as well. Thank you.
Madam Chairperson, thank you. I apologize for my delay. Actually, I had some problem with the volume of the my computer. So Azerbaijan would like to thank Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Turkey for having proposed the nomination Toguz Gumalak, Toguz Kargul, Mangala Göçürme, which represent an important element of intangible cultural heritage of the concerned communities, allowing to socialize among people, develop logical skills among children, as well as to connect culture with the elements of nature and environment. Our delegation notes the recurrent difficulty of the submitting states proposing multinational nominations to explain all aspects in detail, while word limitations are quite restricted, which partially explains why the evaluation body found that some information was missing in both criteria R3 and R5. With regard to criterion R3, our experts have carefully examined the file and could find some information within the file and the supporting documents that would respond to the concerns of the evaluation body. For instance, with regard to joint measures proposed, we have found that such initiatives already existed in the past. If you look at the section 3A in the bracket I, section 2, and the community consent letters. Moreover, we have also found that the relevant NGOs in the 3 submitting states have implemented joint efforts with regard to this file. For our delegation, based on these factual arguments, there is no doubt that some of the measures proposed will also be implemented jointly by communities of the 3 states in the future, which is also confirmed by the clear references. In section 3B, to the measures that international level, such as international tournaments, events, and competitions, focused on the practice of the traditional game. Concerning the community participation, we would find the proofs of its involvement in the preparation of the safeguarding measures in the section 3B, in the bracket II, stating that the proposed safeguarding measures were designated with related NGOs, communities, and individuals' views and proposals. The file also further explains how the concerned communities have participated and how they will participate in the implementation of the safeguarding measures. In fact, if we look at the statement from each state in section 3B, every country has dedicated a paragraph from which the participation of the communities and community organizations is clearly demonstrated.
Thank you, Azerbaijan.
So, Madam Chair, so this is why we submitted the amendment to the Secretariat, so concerning with criterion R3. And there is another our view on criterion R5 If you allow, we will tell it later on.
Thank you. Thank you. We are 2 minutes up quite a while now, but thank you for your presentation. I understand Turkey wishes to reply to the questions raised.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. First of all, we would like to take comment for the comment Azerbaijan and Poland. And let me please, we would like to reply to the question of the Poland. As I written in the detailed information form in section 3B1, submitting states specified the safeguarding measures under the following topic for the safeguarding of the element at the national level with the participation of the relevant communities and NGOs. These four main measures include research and documentation, capacity building, promotion and raising awareness, and transmission of the elements. The proposed safeguarding measures were designated with the related committees, NGOs, and various proposals in the national meeting named National Meeting for Preparation Multinational Nomination File held in Istanbul on 21st January 2019. The proposed safeguarding measures of Turkey have been also added to national inventory form prepared by broad participation of the concerned committees. This inventory form was also submitted with the nomination file. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I would ask if there is no objection, let us continue with the same methodology. When reaching the amendment submitted by Azerbaijan, committee members wishing to support the amendment will be invited to raise their hand. Could we proceed this way, please? Any committee member wishing to take the floor at this stage? Very well. Can the secretary display the decision on the screen, please? Can we consider paragraph 1 adopted? Adopted. Let us continue with the adoption of paragraph 2 as a whole and as initially proposed. Any objection? I see no objection. Adopted. Criterion R3 is amended by Azerbaijan. May I ask committee members who are in support of the amendment on R3 to raise their hand? And could the Secretariat read out the list of members that support the amendment?
Madam Chair, I read Kuwait, Brazil, Sri Lanka, Japan, Djibouti, Panama, China, Peru, Botswana, Jamaica, Panama, sorry, I think I've already said, sorry, 1 minute. Let me do this. Okay, just a minute. I was at Jamaica. Let me start again, Madam Chair. Kuwait, Brazil, Sri Lanka, Japan, Djibouti, Panama, China, Peru, Botswana, Jamaica, Poland, Republic of Korea, Morocco, Cameroon, Rwanda, and Cote d'Ivoire.
I see that the amendment proposed benefits from broad active support. Can we therefore adopt the paragraph as amended? Adopted. Criterion R5 is also amended by Azerbaijan. May I ask committee members who are in support of the amendment on R5 to raise their hand? Committee members, please raise your hands. And could the Secretariat read out the list of members that support the amendment?
Madam Chair, I read Kuwait, Japan, Panama, Jamaica, Djibouti, China, Brazil, Republic of Korea, Cote d'Ivoire, Botswana, Peru, Morocco, Poland, Cameroon.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis.
Sorry, and Brazil.
Thank you. I see that the amendment proposed benefits from broad active support. Can we therefore adopt the paragraph as amended? Adopted. Paragraph 6 with an amendment from Azerbaijan. Does the committee adopt it as shown on the screens?
Madam Chair, may I confirm that we are on paragraph 4?
We now come to paragraph 4 as amended by Azerbaijan. We now have adopted all 5 criteria, so I believe we can now adopt this paragraph as well. May I consider that all committee members who supported the first 2 amendments from Azerbaijan would also support this one? Is there any objection? Adopted. Paragraph 5 with an amendment from Azerbaijan. Could we adopt it as shown on the screens? Adopted. Paragraph 6 with an amendment from Azerbaijan. Does the committee adopt it as shown on the screen?
Madam Chair, we have committee members asking for the floor. I read Jamaica, Switzerland, and Panama. No, I read now only, Switzerland and Jamaica. No, I'm sorry, I read Switzerland asking for the floor.
Please go ahead, Switzerland.
Nous remercions la délégation de l'Azerbaïdjan pour cet amendement qui adresse un point important pour toute inscription sur cette liste représentative. Nous soutenons donc son intégration dans le dispositif de décision. En même temps, nous proposons de maintenir l'ancien paragraphe 6 qui mentionne un autre enjeu tout aussi important et qui concerne tout particulièrement les candidatures multinationales. Le paragraphe 6, c'est-à-dire l'ancien paragraphe 6, fait écho à un souci exprimé régulièrement par l'organe d'évaluation et il nous semble donc judicieux de le garder ici. Merci.
Thank you. Paragraph 6 with an amendment from Azerbaijan. Does the committee adopt it as shown on the screen? Adopted. We can now adopt the entire decision as a whole. No objection? I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B37 adopted as shown on the screen. Submitting states, you may wish to take the floor for 2 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Distinguished committee member and state parties. Traditional intelligence and strategy game, Dokuz Kumarak, Dokuz Korgo, Mangala is practiced for centuries in the large part of the world. Therefore, we are very pleased to see on the representative list. During the preparation process, ensuring supporting states made a great efforts. We believe that especially World Ethnosport Confederation in Turkey, the Korgo Federation in Kyrgyz Republic, and the World Dokuz Kumarak Federation in Kazakhstan showed a good example for the cooperation among the concerned communities. Finally, as a coordinator country of the nomination file, we would like to express our gratitude to Kazakhstan and Kyrgyz Republic for their excellent cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you, Turkey. Thank you. I will now give the floor to the representative of the evaluation body so that the findings on the next nomination can be presented to the committee. Mr. Busaidi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is Art of Crafting and Playing Mabera Sansi, the finger-plucking traditional musical instrument in Malawi and Zimbabwe, submitted by Malawi and Zimbabwe. The art of crafting and playing Mabera Sansi, the finger-plucking traditional musical instrument in Malawi, plays a key role in the community concerned. The basic Mabera Sansi instrument consists of wooden board with a metal keys attached on top, and the instrument is sometimes mounted on a calabash wooden recentre. The music is also used to communicate information about events that happened in the past. After initiating a dialogue process, the evaluation body considered that the nomination meets all 5 criteria. The inscription would encourage dialogue about elements of living heritage in both states, as well as foster networking and the sharing of experience about the safeguarding of these elements and other cross-border ones. It would also contribute to strengthening the variety of music genres and styles in the world, thus creating ground for human creativity and respect for cultural diversity. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends the inscription of this element on the representative list. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Busaidi. The Bureau did not receive any requests for debate or amendments for this file. May I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision as shown on the screen as a whole? I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B 38 adopted. Congratulations, submitting states. You may now take the floor for 2 minutes. I understand that Malawi will speak first, to be followed by the Minister of Culture of Zimbabwe, Honorable Minister Christie Coventry. So I will invite Malawi to take the floor at this time.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Malawi would like to thank the committee for its decision to inscribe the art of making and playing mbira stroke sansi, the finger-plucking traditional musical instrument, the evaluation board for their recommendation, and the Secretariat for the initial evaluation and technical guidance. We consider this inscription as an early Christmas gift to the communities concerned in both countries. Secondly, we would also like to recognize the support of the UNESCO Harare office. As you may be aware, Madam Chairperson, in 2015, 7 countries under UNESCO Harare created a platform known as the Southern Africa Intangible Cultural Heritage to spearhead the implementation of the convention. Under this platform, several projects have been implemented with support from the Flanders government. These projects have helped quite a lot to build a vibrant sub-regional cooperation network for the protection, preservation, and promotion of ICH in the region. One of the milestones of this support is what we are witnessing today, which is the inscription of this element on the representative list. The inscription of Mira/Sansi will no doubt bring in the much needed visibility of this practice and ICH of the region in general. We therefore would like to extend our profound gratitude and appreciation to the Flanders government for their support. Madam Chairperson, before I leave the floor, let me also take this opportunity to inform potential partners that we have got exciting project proposals to be implemented beyond the Flanders government support. We would like to partner with you in the spirit of South-South and North-South cooperation. For this reason, let us get in touch. With these remarks, I thank you for your listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Malawi. Thank you so much. I note your comments. I will now invite the Minister of Culture of Zimbabwe, the Honorable Christy Coventry. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson, and I'd like to start by thanking my colleague in Malawi for the great teamwork. As Minister responsible for arts and culture, and on behalf of all Zimbabweans and government, and most importantly, our Mbira crafting and Mbira playing communities, it is truly an honor to accept UNESCO's inscription of the art of crafting and playing Mbira onto the representative list of intangible culture heritage of humanity. Mbira music in other music genres is steadfastly gaining recognition in Zimbabwe's cultural renaissance. UNESCO confirmed this today. We continue to value the crafting and playing of Mbira, as well as enjoying the beautiful music Mbira provides. Music, through instruments such as Mbira, unites communities, promotes peace, spiritual well-being, and reminds us of our strong history and heritage as storytellers. Thank you, UNESCO and the Flanders government. Congratulations, Malawi and Zimbabwe. On behalf of the government, I would like to wish our reassurance to UNESCO of Zimbabwe's commitment to the implementation of the 2003 Convention for Safeguarding of the Intangible Cultural Heritage. I'd like to thank you all again and wish you a wonderful Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you so much. I will now give the floor to Mr. Busaidi to make his next presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is La Fatira, Culinary Art and Culture of Flattened Sourdough Bread in Malta, submitted by Malta. La Fatira Culinary Art and Culture of Flattened Sourdough Bread in Malta is a key part of the cultural heritage of the inhabitants of the Maltese archipelago. Fatira has a thick crust and light internal texture, caricaturized by large irregular holes and open crumb. It is a flatter than other Maltese breads and has a hotter baking temperature. A wide variety of people, including marginalized groups, can enter the baking profession as apprentices. And Fatira days in school help inform students about healthy eating. The evaluation body considered that the nomination meets all 5 criteria. The state party has provided a useful explanation of the contribution of this culinary practice to the promotion of the enhancement of the visibility of intangible cultural heritage in general. The nomination provides information related to different kinds of community participation at various stages of the nomination process, including concentrate references to specific meetings. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends the inscription of this element on the representative list. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. The Bureau did not receive any requests for debate or amendments on this file. May I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision as shown on the screen as a whole. I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B 39 adopted. Congratulations, Malta. You may now take the floor for 2 minutes. I also understand that there's a video that you will be playing for us. Secretariat, is there a video? And Malta, could you go ahead and take the floor?
Madam Chair,
Oh, the
Mr.
video is
Secretary,
playing.
committee
Okay.
members, distinguished delegates. On behalf of Malta, I wish to thank the evaluation body that made the recommendation and the committee that has adopted the decision to inscribe il-ftira, culinary arts and culture of flattened sourdough bread in Malta for inscription on the representative list of the Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity. This is Malta's first inscription and therefore a privilege that Malta has its first intangible cultural heritage element inscribed. Il-ftira is a key part of the cultural heritage of the inhabitants of the Maltese archipelago, a state which is situated in the center of the Mediterranean with 500,000 inhabitants, but with a great history that dates back to thousands of years. Now that this element is honored with the recognition, we promise to ensure that the safeguarding measures adequately address the potential negative impact of over-commercialization of the element, further keeping in mind that all measures are to be aimed at enhancing the viability of il-ftira. I thank everyone who made this memorable moment for Malta. I wish you all more fruitful work in the endeavor to safeguard the intangible cultural heritage and to sustain cultural diversity in this globalized world. Thank you once again for this privilege.
Thank you for that presentation and congratulations. I will now give the floor to Mr. Busaidi to make the next presentation to the
Thank you,
committee.
Madam. Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is Practice and Traditional Knowledge of Terroir in the Culture of Pua Nana Granani Ancestor Drink in Paraguay, submitted by Paraguay. The practices and traditional knowledge of Terroir in the culture of Pua Nana Granani ancestral drink in Paraguay are widespread in the Paraguayan territory and involve a variety of barriers. There is a traditional drink prepared in a jug or thermos, in which cold water is mixed with Pua Nana crushed in a mortar. It is served in a glass pre-filled with yerba mate and sucked with bambella, metal or can straw. After initiating a dialogue process, the evaluation body considered that the nomination meets all 5 criteria, and in particular appreciated that the main characteristic of the element is that it brings all types of people together in a shared moment. Thus, its inscription on the representative list would highlight the associated values of solidarity, empathy, and harmony at the international level. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends the inscription of this element in the representative list. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for this detailed explanation on the different issues raised during the evaluation of this file. The Bureau did not receive any requests for debate or amendment, so may I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision as shown on the screen as a whole. I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B41 adopted. Congratulations, Paraguay. I understand that Minister Capdevila Yampe will speak for 2 minutes. Minister, you may take the floor. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, señora Olivia Grange, presidenta del comité, señoras y señores delegados y observadores, autoridades, señoras y señores. Es para mí un gran honor representar al Paraguay en esta 15ª reunión del Comité Intergubernamental para la Salvaguardia del Patrimonio Cultural Inmaterial de la UNESCO. Paraguay, ubicado en el corazón de América del Sur, alberga una diversidad de lenguas y manifestaciones culturales que conviven desde los tiempos precoloniales y que están protegidas y promovidas por la Constitución Nacional, tratados internacionales y leyes nacionales. Entre ese abanico de manifestaciones culturales, hemos presentado las prácticas y saberes tradicionales del tereré en la cultura del Pojañaná, bebida ancestral guaraní en Paraguay. La misma rescata y valoriza una bebida ancestral que ha sido transmitida de generación en generación en el seno de las familias de este suelo, que generó costumbres y salió a una frondosa tradición oral desde el siglo XVI hasta nuestros días. Por otro lado, reconoce el rol histórico que han desarrollado las mujeres paraguayas como responsables destacadas de los preparativos y el mantenimiento de los elementos que se conjugan en esta manifestación cultural tradicional. Esta expresión cultural fue incluida en el Registro del Patrimonio Nacional de la Secretaría Nacional de Cultura en el año 2019, siendo identificada y confirmada en su vigencia a través de la participación de numerosas comunidades locales e instituciones. La práctica ancestral del consumo del tereré, de esta bebida, lleva a cabo en todo el territorio nacional y puede encontrarse sus huellas regionales y su cultivo extendido mucho más allá de nuestras fronteras mediante el intenso flujo de migrantes entre nuestros países. El tereré en la cultura del Pojañaná es el primer patrimonio vivo de Paraguay que ha sido inscripto en la lista representativa del patrimonio inmaterial de la humanidad, señalando un gran paso para la inscripción de otras manifestaciones que deseamos compartir con el mundo. Paraguay agradece al comité y al órgano evaluador por su positiva acogida a esta propuesta y se compromete a impulsar acciones para la salvaguarda de estos saberes y prácticas culturales. Muchas gracias y que viva el tereré y el Pojañaná.
Thank you, Minister Capedevila Yampe, and congratulations again. Thank you so much. May I ask now Mr. Busaidi to take the floor again and to present his findings on the next nomination. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is tree beekeeping culture submitted by Poland and Belarus. Tree beekeeping culture includes knowledge, skills, practice, tradition, rituals, and beliefs connected to wild bees breeding in tree hives or log hives located in forest area. Tree beekeepers take care of bees in a special way by trying to recreate the primeval living conditions in tree hives without interfering with the natural life cycle of the bees. The evaluation body considered that the nomination meets all 5 criteria, and in particular appreciated that the inscription of the element would promote the principle of sustainable development and their relation with the intangible cultural heritage and highlight the potential importance of traditional practice for the preservation of biodiversity and even for food safety. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends the inscription of this element on the representative list. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. The Bureau did not receive any requests for debate or amendments for this file. May I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision as shown on the screen as a whole. I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8B 42 adopted. Congratulations to the submitting states. I understand that the presentations from the submitting states may be in 4 parts. And so I invite the submitting states to make their presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On behalf of Poland, I wish to express our sincere happiness and thanks to the committee for this inscription. We are very proud that the important element of intangible cultural heritage, presenting the synergy between wild bees and their protectors, the tree beekeepers, is now part of the representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. We would like to also thank the evaluation body for their high remarks. It was a pleasure to receive so many condemnations of the nomination file. Together with Belarusian colleagues, we worked very hard for rare culture of tree beekeepers in both our countries to be internationally safeguarded and recognized. ICH is all about the people, and we would like to thank the people involved in the process, especially the bearers, but also many experts from the Ministry of Culture, Polish National Commission, and experts from Belarus. Now I would like to give the floor to Joanna, one of the experts engaged in the process of this nomination. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Poland.
On behalf of the Ministry of Culture and National Heritage, and as the coordinator of the nomination file, having the privilege to work closely with groups of bearers, I would like to thank the committee for the inscription and to congratulate the bearers. Tree beekeeping culture enriches the natural and cultural landscape and offers meaningful insight on the relation between people, nature, and culture. I would like to appreciate the bearers' deeply rooted awareness and sustained efforts invested into cultivation and transmission of the heritage. Now, I would like to give the floor to our bearers in the short film.
Dlatego dziękujemy UNESCO za uznanie kultury bartniczej godnej wpisu
na reprezentatywną listę niematerialnego dziedzictwa ludzkości.
Jest to dla nas wielki zaszczyt
i motywacja do dalszych działań.
Dziękujemy wszystkim, którzy nas wspierają.
To potwierdzenie, że działamy w słusznej sprawie.
Congratulations again. Thank you. We are now ready to examine the third sub-item, 8C, examination of proposals.
Madam Chair, I do think, sorry to interrupt. Madam Chair, is it okay? I understand Belarus wanted to also make a statement.
Okay. I recognize Belarus.
Thank you.
Right, thank you.
Dear colleagues, on behalf of the National Commission of the Republic of Belarus for UNESCO, allow me to express our sincerest gratitude for supporting of our joint Poland-Belarus nomination, Tree Beekeeping Culture, inscribed today. We are especially grateful to our colleagues and friends from Poland for cooperation and mutual understanding during the preparation of the file. We are also grateful to express of the evaluation body. We are very pleased to receive such high recognition of our cultural traditions at the international level, but we also feel a great responsibility for its safeguarding and sustainable development. Today is a very special day. Belarusian tree beekeepers who kept this traditional practice and are transmitting it through generation. Young representative of the tree beekeeping community, Mr. Ivan Osipov, the leaders of founder of the Brotherhood of Barefoot Beekeepers, is taking part in the session with me. Thank you for your attention.
On behalf of the tree beekeepers community, we express our gratitude and feel an incredible sense of pride. The tree beekeeping culture become known to all humanity. It's a great opportunity to preservation and transmission tree beekeeping culture code into society, modern and future generations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Belarus, and congratulations again. Thank you so much. Members, we are now ready to examine the third sub-item, 8C, examination of proposals to the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices. Let me now give the floor to the evaluation body, with Albania having withdrawn its request. We will go directly to the proposal submitted by France. Evaluation body, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is the Martinique Yole, From Construction to Sailing Practices, a model of heritage safeguarding submitted by France. Created several centuries ago, the Martinique Yole reflects the importance of traditional boats in the history of the region. Ayol is a light, fast, shallow draft boat with a trap shape, which can sail with one or two sails. The evaluation body considered that the state party has convincingly demonstrated the effectiveness of the safeguarding actions for ensuring the revitalization and viability of the Ayol. It could serve as a source of inspiration in the implementation of grassroots activities. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends the selection of this project for the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. The Bureau did not receive any request for debate or amendment for this file. May I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision on this file as shown on the screen as a whole? I see no objection. I understand that France wishes to take the floor. Please go ahead, France.
Chair? No, sorry, I'm sorry. Madam Chair, the submitting state cannot take the floor during the decision until after the decision is made, unless there is a question. So it
France,
would,
do you have a question?
No, France cannot. You should finish the decision first, unless a committee member is asking a question, and then France may take the floor.
Okay, I will proceed. I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8C2 adopted as seen on the screen. Congratulations, France. The floor is yours for 2 minutes. France, you may take the floor.
Vous m'entendez? Merci, Madame la Présidente. Merci, Mesdames et Messieurs les membres du comité. La France remercie le comité pour sa décision d'inscrire sur le registre des bonnes pratiques le modèle de sauvegarde de la construction et des pratiques de navigation de la Yole ronde de Martinique. La France souhaite partager la joie immense des Martiniquais d'apporter leur petit grain de sable à l'UNESCO en échange d'une reconnaissance aussi attendue par ses habitants que stimulante pour la sauvegarde à venir du PCI sur cette île de l'archipel des Petites Antilles. Au-delà, cette inscription témoigne de la richesse culturelle des Caraïbes et augure des initiatives conjointes dans la région sur la base de cet exemple reflétant les principes et objectifs de la Convention de 2003, notamment en matière d'éducation, de formation et de coopération universitaire pour la sauvegarde du PCI. Merci Madame la Présidente, merci à vous tous.
Thank you, France. Evaluation body, could you please introduce the next file? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is craft techniques and customary.
Madam Chair, Madam.
Personne
Yes,
n'y croyait.
please.
Quand nous allons réussir de mettre la Yole ronde de la Martinique à l'UNESCO, c'est un petit peu et beaucoup, le petit grain de sable de Martinique que nous mettons à l'UNESCO.
La Yole de Martinique est un bateau extraordinaire. Inspiré du pommier, embarcation ayant servi aux Arawaks à peupler la Caraïbe, ces anciens canots de pêche filent sur l'eau sans quille ni lest. La Yole ronde n'existe qu'à la Martinique, mais ses valeurs sont universelles. Solidarité, partage, chaque équipage est comme une grande famille. En plus, c'est l'un des rares sports vraiment inclusifs. Les filles concourent avec les garçons. Le Tour de Martinique des Yoles rondes, c'est le patrimoine vivant de l'île. Merci à l'UNESCO de nous aider à le sauvegarder.
Le comité de pilotage pour l'entrée de la Yole à l'UNESCO remercie très sincèrement l'UNESCO pour
une réponse favorable à notre candidature.
Merci à l'UNESCO d'avoir inscrit la gueule de Martinique au registre des bonnes pratiques de sauvegarde.
Merci à l'UNESCO.
Thank you, France. Evaluation body, could you please introduce the next file? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is Craft Techniques and Customer Practice of Cathedral Workshops. Abuatan in Europe, Know-How, Transmission, Developments of Knowledge and Innovation, submitted by Germany, Austria, France, Norway, and Switzerland. The workshop organization, or Bohat Nuesten, appeared in the Middle Ages on the construction sites of European cathedrals. Now, as then, these workshops are home of various trade working in close collaboration. The evaluation body considered that the program is based on an important combination of ICH practices related to traditional crafts and modern, innovative technologies. The workshop safeguarding system could be applied to any kind of built construction and could be transferred to other geographical or social context. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends the selection of these projects for Register of Good Safeguarding Practices. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. The Bureau did not receive any requests for debate or amendment for this file. May I therefore ask the committee to adopt the draft decision on this file as shown on the screens as a whole? I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 50.com 8C3 adopted. The submitting states now have the floor for 2 minutes. I understand also that there will be a video presentation.
Madame la Présidente, au nom de tous les États
Yes, I'm
parties,
hearing you.
vous m'entendez, Madame la Présidente?
Oui, oui.
I'm hearing you,
Très
France.
bien,
Please
merci.
go ahead.
Au nom de tous les États parties partenaires de cette candidature, l'Allemagne, l'Autriche, la Norvège et la Suisse, la France souhaite, en tant que coordinatrice, remercier vivement le comité pour sa décision d'inscrire les techniques artisanales et les pratiques coutumières des ateliers de cathédrale ou Bahouten en Europe au registre des bonnes pratiques de sauvegarde et pour ses félicitations d'avoir proposé un programme qu'il a jugé, avec l'organe d'évaluation, exemplaire de l'importance de la coopération multinationale pour la sauvegarde du patrimoine immatériel. La vidéo de remerciement qui va suivre témoigne de la reconnaissance de l'ensemble de la communauté porteuse composée de 18 ateliers et de 5 pays européens qui se sont coordonnés autour de cette candidature sur la base d'un réseau supranational entretenu depuis l'époque médiévale. Nous souhaitons que ce modèle de préservation des constructions architecturales humaines et de transmission des savoir-faire puisse inspirer d'autres États parties en vue de sa diffusion et de son adaptation à d'autres contextes. Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente.
Thank you, France.
L'ensemble du personnel de la Fondation de l'œuvre Notre-Dame, soutenu par la ville de Strasbourg dans toute sa diversité, sommes très fiers et honorés que l'UNESCO distingue nos pratiques en tant que patrimoine culturel immatériel au sein du réseau des cathédrales d'Europe.
Vielen Dank.
Tusen Dank!
Juhu! Die Dombauhütte Aachen, Aix-la-Chapelle, Aquisgrana sagt Danke.
Oder wie man bei uns in Oche sagt,
Double merci.
Swingerbauhütte Dresden, seid bedankt.
Vielen Dank an das Komitee und an unsere Mitstreiter.
Ein Hallo aus Freiburg. Wir sagen ein ganz herzliches Dankeschön.
Dankeschön! Ein herzliches für Goldgut aus Regensburg.
Vielen Dank von der staatlichen Dombauhütte Bamberg.
Thank you. Thank you. Evaluation body, could you please introduce the next file? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is Polyphonic Caravan Researching, Safeguarding, and Promoting the Epirus Polyphonic Song, submitted by Greece. The Polyphonic Caravan is a long-standing project in Greece aimed at raising awareness about the Epirus polyphonic song, documenting it through field research, and creating bridges across generations and geographical boundaries. The evaluation body considered that the project clearly contributed to the revitalization of safeguarding of the element, as well as ensuring their visibility among different audiences in both rural and urban environments. It could serve as a model of coherent safeguarding plan that has evolved over time in response to the needs of the communities of the barriers. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends the selection of this project for the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Bosaidi. The Bureau received a minor amendment submitted by Switzerland. I understand that this is merely to correct clerical issues, and we should therefore be able to adopt our decision swiftly. May I therefore ask the committee to adopt the draft decision on this file as shown on the screens as a whole? I see no objection. So, Mr. Curtis, no objection, no issues here?
We see nobody wishing to take the floor. I believe you may proceed.
Okay. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8C4 adopted as seen on the screens. Greece, the floor is yours for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Hellenic Ministry of Culture and Sports, on behalf of the community of the bearers of the members of the Polyphonic Caravan and the large community of bearers of polyphonic singing in Epirus, we wish to express our deep gratitude to the evaluation body for their excellent work in treating all the submitted files of this cycle. We also wish to thank the Secretariat of the Convention for facilitating in the implementation of the ICH Convention, especially during this trying time of the COVID pandemic. Allow me to express the deep joy that people involved in the project and in polyphonic singing in Epirus feel today. Your selection of this practice is an honor to us all. Moreover, we sincerely hope that the Polyphonic Caravan project will inspire similar efforts around the globe for the safeguarding of their valuable ICH. Not only members of the broad and diverse communities of polyphonic singing all over the world, but also communities that have undergone the same process of recent urbanization. Leaving their rural places of origin does not mean that they are cut off from their ICH. Polyphonic Caravan found a way to continue their heritage in the cities where they immigrated, and they are willing to share it with anybody who cares to ask their help. Thank you again for the privilege and the honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Greece. We have now completed the examination of the proposals submitted for the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices under item 8C. Committee members, now that we have completed our examination of nominations to the urgent safeguarding list and the representative list, as well as the examination of proposals to the Register of Good Safeguarding Practices, what now remains is the examination of sub-item 8D, the examination of requests for international assistance. Before we go back to item 8 for the general debate concerning the report of the evaluation body and the examination of draft decision 15.com.8. Let me now give the floor to the evaluation body.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is capacity building for the safeguarding and management of intangible cultural heritage in the Central African Republic, submitted by the Central African Republic. The proposed 36-month project is aimed at building capacities for the safeguarding and management of intangible cultural heritage in the Central African Republic. Due to a lack of qualified human, financial, and infrastructure resources, there is a marked need to collect, process, protect, and enhance the rich intangible cultural heritage present in the country. The evaluation body considered that from the information included in the file, the request responds as follows to the criteria for granting international assistance given in paragraph 10 and 12 of the operational directives. The project shows there is no description of how the communities will benefit from the result of the project. Furthermore, the budget structure is not fully aligned with the information provided in the file. The request also lacks sufficient details on the content of the training for community members. Moreover, there is some doubt as to the effectiveness of certain training courses since the request does not provide enough information on their content. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends this request be referred to the submitting state. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. The Bureau did not receive any requests for debate or amendment on this file. May I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision on this file as shown on the screens as a whole? I have been advised that the submitting state I first would ask that we adopt the decision as shown on the screen as a whole. I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com.8D1 adopted as seen on the screens. I understand that the submitting state is not registered, and we will therefore move to the next request. I will ask the evaluation body at this time to please introduce the next file.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next file is Safeguarding of Diversity of Malawi through Non-Formal Education and Community Transmission, submitted by Malawi. This 36-month project aims to safeguard diversity through the non-formal learning of 9 of these traditional games, as well as through their informal transmission by and within the practicing communities to be implemented by the Malawi National Commission for UNESCO. The evaluation body considered that from the information included in the file, the request responds as follows to the criteria for granting international assistance given in paragraph 10 and 12 of the operational directives. There are some concerns about the budget breakdown being too focused on organizing the Festival of Games. Moreover, there are several inconsistencies between the timetable and the description of activities. Furthermore, there is no convincing argument that some results of the project would be sustainable after the funding has come to an end. for instance, the organization of the festival. In addition, there are no responsible arguments in the file to indicate that this will take place and to be sustained after the project and its funding have come to an end. In conclusion, the evaluation body recommends this request to be referred to the submitting state. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. The Bureau did not receive any request for debate or amendment for this file. May I therefore ask the committee to adopt draft decision on this file as shown on the screens as a whole. I see no objection. I therefore declare decision 15.com 8D2 adopted as seen on the screens. Would the submitting state like to take the floor at this stage? Malawi, do you wish to take the floor at this time? Mr. Curtis?
We understand that the submitting state is connected. However, we did not see a hand risen. You may wish, if perhaps we'll continue, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Curtis. We have now completed our work on the item 8D. And we will now
Madam Chair?
Colleagues, please, yes, Mr. Curtis?
I understand we now have the video from Japan ready.
Okay, go ahead, please, proceed.
Japan is a country of forests. About 70% of it is forested. Since ancient times, people have built structures out of wood from these forests. As times changed, concrete or steel structures became more common. But the skills, techniques and knowledge regarding wooden architecture were passed down from craftsperson to craftsperson. The nomination includes 17 techniques to conserve all parts of wooden architecture, from the exteriors to the interior parts, and to hand such structures down to the next generation, as well as knowledge of topics such as the sustainable use of forests and natural materials.
過去のものが全部今の土台になっているわけで、残さなきゃ未来はないぐらいのそういうものかなっていうふうには思います。
To transmit cultural heritage to the future is to transmit possibilities to the future.
Thank you. Let's congratulate Japan again. Applause, applause, applause. Colleagues, we have completed the examination of all individual files under items 8A, 8B, 8C, and 8D. We are ready to go back to the general debate concerning the report of the evaluation body under item 8. Committee members, the floor is yours for the general debate. Mr. Curtis, do you wish to say something?
Madam Chair, I think we've gone rather fast. I understand that we do have a request for debate from a non-committee member, but first the floor should be given to committee members who wish to make points about the overall debate. We have received one request for intervention from a non-committee member from State Party Armenia, and we've also received an amendment proposals from Switzerland when we come to the debate. Now, we now see that Czechia wishes to take the floor. Committee members should go first. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis. I understand Czechia would wish to take the floor now. So please take the floor, Czechia.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Czechia would like to sincerely congratulate to all states parties for their new inscription.
Czechia, we don't hear you.
I'm sorry, I think I have some problems with the connection. Is it okay now?
Now we hear you.
Perfect. Sorry, once more. Yeah. I was congratulating to all the states parties that were having their new inscriptions made and thanking them for their good job. And we would also like to thank to our colleagues from the committee for managing to finish our work in such an effective time frame. The new online situation has helped us to develop some new working methods and skills, which we may use also in the future when we meet personally again. During our deliberations, we have faced several situations when the committee decided to scrutinize the recommendations of the evaluation body and based on additional explanations by the submitting states, to overturn them. That is perfectly in line with the mandate of the committee. However, our delegation is a little bit worried about the way some of the draft decisions have been redrafted during our deliberations. The original draft decisions contain many serious issues, concerns, and challenges directly related to the basic principles of the convention. And some of them could have been clarified during the meeting by the states parties, but some of them go quite beyond simple question-answer clarification. We would expect that in such cases, important recommendations, encouragements, or reminders would remain part of the decisions so that the states parties can follow the expert guidance and reflect these comments in their safeguarding efforts. Nevertheless, when the draft decisions were amended, in some cases, the issues were openly denied as if they did not exist at all. And in our opinion, by adopting such approach, we are giving up a chance to think about these challenges and to improve the methodologies for effective safeguarding, intensive community participation, and so on.
Thank you, Czechia.
Yeah, just to end up, we believe that inscriptions are very important, but safeguarding as well. And we sincerely hope that we will be more open-minded in this respect as a committee in the next cycle. So once more, thank you for the successfully finished work.
Thank you very much. I will now recognize Sweden, who was asked to take the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson, and congratulations to you for a very well led, chaired meeting so far, and congratulations to all the state parties and all the communities that have had inscriptions, and these are very, very incredible inscriptions indeed. We would like to fully subscribe to the intervention made by Czechia. As a new member of the committee, we have been a little surprised sometimes how decisions and amendments have been presented with quite substantial changes that not all committee members have been able to see beforehand. We have seen them on the screen during the meeting, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult to react quickly and on the spot. And sometimes there are aspects that we think are very important that have fallen out, but that we have not have the possibility or the time to discuss. So this is something that we would like. I mean, we completely understand the challenges with this virtual meeting, but this is something that we think should be discussed and reflected upon until the next committee meeting. And we would be happy to engage in such a discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sweden. I now recognize Botswana.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for giving me the floor. And congratulations to you and all the state parties. Botswana would like to recognize the good work put in by the evaluation body in assessing the 42 nomination files submitted for possible inscription on this list. In examining the files, Botswana recognizes that the evaluation body identified both the good efforts made by the submitting state parties in completing their nomination forms, as well as the gaps that needed to be addressed. The evaluation body that noted that some of the nomination files have demonstrated the interlinkages between tangible and intangible heritage, which is a positive development in the safeguarding of cultural heritage. Botswana further notes that some state parties managed to resubmit their nominations files and they were able to satisfy the criteria. However, Madam Chair, Botswana observes that some state parties exceeded the specified number of words in their nomination files, which enabled them to provide additional information compared to those that adhered to the prescribed limit. We therefore seek clarity as to whether the restriction to the number of words is strictly adhered to or that there is room for flexibility. We thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Botswana. Jamaica, you may take the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jamaica would like at this point to, again, congratulate the evaluation body on conducting the affairs of its work with due diligence. We would also like to congratulate the state parties who have had nominations, and also to say to those state files that have been referred that we hope that you will take into consideration the recommendations made in terms of improving the files that have been submitted, and that you will be successful in the second round when you put the files forward again. I'd also like to thank the chair for the efficiency with which the meeting has been conducted so far. I believe we are now back ahead of the agenda. So congratulations are due for the efficiency all around, and to the Secretariat for its excellent support in this regard. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Jamaica. I would like to certainly acknowledge the presence and recognize the ADG for Culture, who's been with us from earlier this afternoon or this morning, wherever you are in the world. ADG, greetings from Jamaica.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Dear colleagues, we are running out of time, so we will continue with our speakers list tomorrow. Mr. Curtis, could you please read the list for us? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Concerning the committee members, I have Netherlands, Switzerland as committee members, and as non-state parties, as non-committee members, sorry, state parties, non-committee members, I have Armenia, Austria, and Latvia. Sorry, Kuwait as a committee member. Let me correct then. For committee members, for the speakers list for tomorrow morning, I have Netherlands, Switzerland, Sri Lanka, Kuwait, no, sorry, Kuwait and then Sri Lanka. For non-committee members, I have Armenia, I understand Austria, but hasn't risen their hand, and then Latvia. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis. Before we close today's session, I would like to remind the Vice Chairpersons and Rapporteur that the Bureau meeting will take place tomorrow at 1 p.m. Paris time at the same Zoom meeting link we have been using all week. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite members of the press to a press briefing tomorrow, Friday, just after the session at 5:15 p.m. on Zoom. The link for following the press briefing, along with the accompanying press resources, can be found on the 15.com event page. We have now finished our work, colleagues. We have finished our work for today, and we will start again tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Paris time. And so, after we adjourn, I invite you to just enjoy the reggae chill moment with Redemption Song performed by John Legend. All that's left for me to do is to say, today's session is adjourned. Thank you very much.